Just as jellyfish and woodpeckers and ostriches have no rights, Homo sapiens have no rights also.
People have no rights? Yeah, I'm on board with that. Would you mind burning this copy of the Bill of Rights? I don't think it ever existed. Good evening and welcome to We Lie to You News. The GOP race is heating up to the temperature of assassination to set the stage for the upcoming 2024 election, aka the next phase of the Civil War. We'll have a mostly censored report on what's going on there, along with breaking news from the World Economic Forum on what they're going to take away from you next, which is only all of your human rights. A 50-year-old man is now competing in swimming as a 13-year-old girl, and we'll also give you the rundown on a man competing as Michelle Obama in the 2024 election. The secret's out. We'll have all of that and potentially less in tonight's broadcast, starting with assassination threats. Alex Soros, acclaimed for nothing and only known for being the son of communist mega donor George Soros, recently made some waves with a felony offense that he'll definitely be getting away with. Alex Soros recently released this tweet, claiming that the crime and inflation problems that have been plaguing the nation have now been remedied. Based on the review of our definitely independent fact checkers, those claims are completely unfactual and therefore have been fact-checked as true. But the assassination-y threat comes in the pic he posted with his tweet, which is a photo of a bullet hole next to $47. Trump looking like the likely 47th president, even though in an effort to protect democracy, we're not going to let that happen, appears to be a threat to Trump's life. But after our trusted three-letter agencies assessed Soros's post, the same three-letter agencies that are likely responsible for the assassinations of a previous president, they surprisingly determined that there's no cause for them to take action. You're probably familiar with the saying that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. And with George Soros and his son Alex, it's also apparent that the shit doesn't fall far from the anus. In other news, in the 13 to 15-year-old girls swimming division, there is a new 15-year-old girl making waves. Take a look.
The infamous 50-year-old man who identifies as a 13-year-old girl. That allows Nicholas to swim with the teenage girls. Oh, and by the way, change and shower with them as well.
That all checks out and is inspiringly inclusive. And over the pond at this year's World Economic Forum meeting in Davos, what are the elites planning on taking away from you for your benefit? Answer: coffee. Take a look.
Basically, the coffee that we all drink emits between 15 and 20 tons of CO2 per ton of coffee. So we should all know that this is every time we drink coffee, we are basically putting CO2 into the atmosphere.
That gentleman who flew in his private jet from overseas to a private jet airport in Switzerland and then took a helicopter from that airport to Davos is morally rooted enough in his quest to reduce CO2 emissions that he was willing to take on the burden of telling the public that they can't have coffee anymore. And I am grateful for his service to humanity. Meanwhile, World Economic Forum figurehead Dr. Noah Yuval Harari had this to say about human rights.
But human rights are just like heaven and like God. It's just a fictional story that we've invented and spread around. It may be a very nice story, it may be a very attractive story, we want to believe it, but it's just a story. It's not a reality. It is not a biological reality. Just as jellyfish and woodpeckers and ostriches have no rights, Homo sapiens have no rights also.
You know, you don't really have to go to the trouble of taking away human rights if you claim humans have no rights in the first place. Harari and the World Economic Forum, who are probably therefore not so much a fan of the Nuremberg Code, oddly enough support this 50-year-old man's right to compete as a 15-year-old girl and be naked in the locker room with his fellow teammates who are minors. Well, they might be minors, but they're also humans, which means they have no right to be protected from a perpetrator who does have a right to perpetrate them. And in national news, President Trump has won Iowa and New Hampshire by record margins, which is making us an even bigger fan of Alex Soros's tweet. President Trump had this to say after his record victory in New Hampshire.
Well, I want to thank everybody. This is a fantastic state. This is a great, great state. You know, we won New Hampshire 3 times now, 3.
You know what? Just cut that. You know what? We've got to take that off air. In our definitely good conscience, we can't allow you to see that. We here at the station that you outsource your thinking to will continue to monitor what Trump says. And if there's anything relevant, we'll allow you to hear us say what he said, so you'll know exactly what he said. That's the best way to do it. It's a fact that Trump is a fascist, and it would be too dangerous for us to allow you to hear his lies. As your trusted news source, we know that there's great consequences to broadcasting untrue things, and we would never do that. We take our dedication to censoring lies and only broadcasting true information to you very seriously. This just in! This is a 15-year-old girl. Back to Trump. While we can't show you what Trump said, we can show you what Biden said.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
While we can show you what he said, we still don't know what he said. And in other GOP news, prior to New Hampshire, Ron DeSantis dropped out. Nikki Haley claimed she's brown and tried to leverage it. And an actual brown guy who never tried to leverage it also dropped out. And as we're inspired by a 50-year-old man playing the role of a 15-year-old girl, we're also inspired by a man who's playing the role of Michelle Obama, whose secret plan that everybody already knew about to replace Biden as the Democratic nominee has apparently been leaked out to the public. So some people didn't know about that? But stay tuned, as we may be celebrating the triumphant achievement of breaking down barriers as a man may become the first female president. That's it for today's news. Enjoy your coffee while you can. Stop enjoying your human rights because they never existed. And I'll be competing in the 7-year-old girls division of MMA. And the threat of the public electing a president that they want to elect has never been greater. It's time to start thinking about how words are violence, but assassinations are not. And if that does happen, before we do it, we just want you to know that it wasn't us. Good night. Hi. I'll tell you something. I truly believe that health equals freedom. That's why I think it's important to create little freedom rituals throughout our day, which are little quick activities that give us a boost of health, which ultimately increases our freedom. And my favorite freedom ritual involves taking the Awaken CBD oil tincture. I always take it about an hour before bed to help me wind down. I also take it immediately post-workout, and then throughout the day if I'm feeling a little anxious and stressed. This little freedom ritual helps me maintain my mental and physical health, and therefore my freedom. And if you want to create a freedom ritual in your life with Awaken CBD, it's never been easier now with Awaken CBD's Subscribe and Save membership. With Subscribe and Save, you get 25% off your first order, 15% off all future reoccurring orders, and you get free shipping. And there's exclusive perks. You get first access to new products, flavors, VIP sales, and more. And Subscribe and Save is fully flexible. You can skip orders, make adjustments, or cancel your subscription at any time. Subscribe and Save makes it easy to bring a freedom ritual into your life without having to think about it. To join me and the rest of the Awaken CBD family in the Subscribe and Save membership, just go to awakencbd.com/join, and I'll see you on the inside.